I usually don't do the Instagram be a little different, but I'm gonna go live on Instagram. I'll just put it on my phone. So now it's gonna be kind of whack. We'll break it up. I'll make sure the content good. Um, Basically the way this work is people tune in, people don't tune in. People it like the numbers are it'll kind of like go up, down. People tune in for a little minute here, minute there. But regardless, what end up happening is that I repurpose the content, and that's where the interaction come from. That's why I wanted
Most
to make sure
definitely.
you had your name and title correct, because once I repurpose that content and people start tapping in, they'll know where to follow you at, and that's where the action at. The actions in that what they call those the reels, the shorts. What I start realizing is things like this. People tap in. If I did it like every day, more people would tap in. Let's say I went live every day at 6, more people would tap in, but my money not made on the internet. My money made on doing what I do. So,
Trust me, I feel it for sure. I'm
so
with you on that one,
for real.
man.
So people know me. A lot of people know you too. And a lot of my people know you from what you did previously, which we spoke about earlier, which was an exclusive magazine or whatever. So I want you to properly introduce yourself and give us a history of your business acumen, your journey in entrepreneurship, and how you came to do what you do today.
Yeah, man. So, I'm Delano Bruton, one of the founders and business consultants of Mastering Our Business, aka the Mob. And I mean, really, I've been an entrepreneur since, before it was cool to be an entrepreneur. Now we in a whole nother time. It's becoming a trend now. And and that's cool. I'm not hating on it because it's more. That's what our community is based on. And consists of is a bunch of different business owners from small, medium, and large. But man, my entrepreneur journey really started back super back. If you really want to go back to the beginning, probably eighth grade. I was the candy man, the water boy. Before it was cool, and showing my friends around me, in the hood, that they can do something different. Even way back then. And then fast forward, I got into the music business. That's where me and you, met. Way back, and that, you know it was just something that it was I I just lost interest in that audience and in that realm, and I kind of moved forward into the fashion realm. I started, actually, we started a summer program with my uncle. Shout out Quasi, shout out the Shed is actually still on the east side. But we built a program where we was trying to just help the youth, and even grown men stay out the streets for the most part. So we was teaching them sublimation, and basically just teaching them how to create their own clothing brand, their t-shirt brand. So after a while, after a summer of doing that, we just had a whole bunch of shirts left over, and we was just like, man, because at first we wasn't really doing it for profit. We were just trying to give back to the community and do something different. And then we just had a bunch of shirts left over, so me and my brother, we just started slanging the shirts out the trunk, and really just kind of pushing that, trying to just get rid of the shirts. And we it got to the point where we kind of sold to everybody that we knew. And I'm just like, man, we still got shirts. We still got a bunch of shirts. So I really started to get into marketing, and figuring out different ways to market ourselves to get rid of more product, and that led me into doing fashion shows, entering ourselves in different fashion shows, and building relationships with different influencers, different models, different artists. And then I started to, really just see that these models, specifically models, we built up a whole group. At that time, it wasn't even exclusive models. It was just literally us just pushing the shed. and building these relationships. And I started to see that these models is they out here grinding too, they hustling too, they're a walking brand. So at that time, I really started to start pushing them, to become a brand, and started putting them in position to push themselves as a business. And that's how Exclusive Models was born. And I started to that just shot off quick, because I mean, sex sales, we had some of the hottest models in the city at that time. And that's when I started getting different mentors. Shout out to Alonzo Palmer, that's one of our mentors. Long live Alonzo Palmer. And he actually owned one of the biggest salons in Detroit, um, right there on Gratiot at that time. And he used to shut down this whole shop for me every week, and we'd just sit down and chop it up for about an hour or two, and he'd just feed me game, and feed me knowledge. And I really just didn't understand what I was doing, to be honest. We was just, going with the flow, and I was kind of just, hey, wherever the money was at the time. So, we was doing a bunch of club hostings, grand openings. We got into, I was getting my models into more video shoots and different things like that. And Alonzo Palmer, he had a magazine at the time, and we did a magazine shoot with him, and it just blew my mind just how this black man had everything. It was super professional, super put together. He actually shut down Eastland Mall. When I pulled out, I'm like, the mall closed. Like, why you got me pulling up here? And and hey, it wasn't closed. It was closed to the public, to the public, but it wasn't closed to him. And that really showed me, and motivated me too. So he sat me down and really made me understand the money that was in magazine publication. And I still didn't understand at first. I'm just like, nobody buying no magazines. Like, that's old school, right? And he showed me wrong. His magazine was shooting off, and he had high quality. And I linked up with another mentor of mine's, Naima. She has, right now, she's still in business, and doing her thing. She's been in the business about 20 years. And she has a clothing brand, as well as a magazine publication as well. So, I'm just like, okay, maybe it is some money in this magazine thing. And so I started to sharpen my skills up when it came to advertising and marketing a little bit more. And the whole world opened up to me. We started getting sponsorships, and I started getting and building relationships with different businesses outside of fashion, and that really opened my eyes up. And that's how Exclusive Models magazine was born, because we already had the models, we already had the influence, we already had the relationships. So we just and just like Alonzo Palmer told me, like, yeah, y'all doing y'all thing, but you don't have no platform, that's yours, right? And a lot of us think we have a platform because we on these social media platforms, but we don't own it. So he like, you need to get a platform that you own, right? So and that's what got me into really publishing, becoming a self publisher. And I wanted to be different. So most of the magazine publications that I seen. And then, once I did my market research, they wasn't coming out with physical copies. And if it was a physical copy, it was this bootleg. I ain't gonna lie, it was just bootleg, right? So it really wasn't nothing in our city that was, outside of Alonzo Palmer's magazines, and Naima's magazine, but it wasn't nothing catering to our audience. So we started, Naima actually plugged me with our manufacturer, so we started publishing physical copies. And from there, I wanted to take it to the next level. I just didn't want to be local. So, we started, I actually funded our own tour. And soon as, people started seeing us traveling outside the city, it just blew up a little bit more, because they realized that we were serious. I mean, it wasn't no way to doubt us at that point. So, once you see, the same people, and the industry is super small, even even once you get outside your city, it's still super small because, as we got to traveling, going to different cities, we started running into the same people.
Yeah.
So, that really showed people that we were serious. And man, it was history ever since then. We did that. We toured independently for about 3 years, and boom, the pandemic happened. And man, that was a tough time because we had to sit down. They shut down the whole world. It wasn't no more touring. That was really how most of our money was coming in because, I got to the point where, we started a membership program with different, businesses that wanted to advertise, but they just didn't have the platform, or they didn't have the means to go to these different cities. So, at that time, I had like 30 members paying us monthly on top of the advertisement, and the spreads that we were selling, and everything else that we was doing, the hosting and different things like that, and it really shook us up. But and a lot of our businesses and a lot of our sponsors, they hung it up. They got, and I don't blame them. The whole world shut down. We all sat down. But I kept it moving. We that's when we got on to Zoom. I got hip to Zoom, and then we started doing our virtual sessions. It was only supposed to be a week, for real, for real. It was only supposed to be a week, but every week people was hitting me up like, hey, we on this week, because nobody had nothing to do. And it was motivating us. It was motivating for the business owners that was still staying in there. It was creating a community and a platform for them to motivate them to keep going, and come up with different solutions. We was coming up with, we was doing curbside pop-ups for those who had brick and mortars but couldn't really have too many people in their store. So we was doing curbside pop-ups. You could still pull up. So we were just coming up with different innovative ways to, stay in the game and stay afloat. By that time, I moved to Atlanta by accident, to be honest. Before that, I moved to Miami and was living it up. But, I wasn't making no money down there because, hey, everybody down there pretty much already got money. They already moving. So my boy, he's in the union. He shoot a bunch of, different major movies. So he was like, man, you need to come pull up on me, pull up in Atlanta. And Atlanta was always our last date, our last tour date. So this a little bit before the pandemic popped off, that was our last tour date. So I'm like, I'm coming to Atlanta anyway. What's going on? We gonna link up or whatnot. And man, I came to Atlanta and just really never left. I ended up working with Tyler Perry, and being on Tyler Perry Studios, that really motivated me to, and really was a confirmation, like, oh yeah, well, first I actually ended up working on a project that Oprah put together called Ambitions. But Oprah has Oprah and Tyler Perry like this. So she shot that on Tyler Perry Studios, and then the next day they called me back, and I ended up working with Tyler Perry himself. And I was just like, man, it's moving like this. Like, it was just like this. And history was, I'm like, I ain't never going back, right? And hey, that's that. We stayed in Atlanta. I ended up becoming a manager for the Low Loft, which is the art gallery, independent art gallery. And at first, I was just doing, just creating content for them, helping them, with the marketing side. But I noticed they didn't have a structure. So, just out of the love, just being me, I end up, starting to put together a structure for them, starting to put together a process, as far as like, RSVP forms and just different things like that. And they blessed me with the position as a manager. It's like, look, actually the owner's son, he came from Cali because his mother just needed help running the space, and he came, dropped out of college, came from Cali all the way to Atlanta, but he didn't have any experience either. So he pretty much was like, look, hey, I know everything when it comes to organization and advertising and marketing and digital media. Help me manage the spot, and we grew something super big. Over there, we really turned it around 360, and boom, the pandemic happened, and that really put us in a whole nother millennium. And we just kept going, man. That didn't stop us. Like I said, we got on Zoom. We started, we had to start from ground zero, but we did that. And I continued on publishing the magazines down here and just creating a platform. So fast forward, that's what we continue on doing. And it just got to the point where I felt like we hit a ceiling. We hit a ceiling and got to the point where I'm like, okay, well, the entertainment business is fine, but these I'm working with these major companies, but they really not getting what Exclusive Models magazine is. And that's what led us to revamping and really kind of going another route with the mob. And my whole point was to build a community of entrepreneurs. And over the years of me consulting different brands, I noticed that a lot of businesses, and especially a lot of new time entrepreneurs, they just didn't have the knowledge, just like I didn't have the knowledge. It took for people like Alonzo Palmer and people like Naima and people like my uncle Quasi to really feed me that knowledge. So I wanted to be that person for people, like even if it was something I didn't know, I would learn it just so I can pass that knowledge on. So that's what we've been doing, man. Really building out our community. We got some great members, some great affiliates. We got mentors, a few great mentors and advisors that we've been working with, and we've been expanding ever since. So we here now. We mobbing for the most part.
That's what's up. So shout out to Quasi too. And I was just down there actually it's been almost a year, quite about a year. But and he doing his thing down there with the books and the art, like everything down there, the shirts and everything, and it's good for the community. With the park
Yeah,
right across the street, and you got the kids, and it's we need to
in the
support
trenches too.
like that. Yeah, he right, yeah, and it's like it's a safe space. We need safe spaces. I was in California a few weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago actually, and they were like, look, this is a safe space. And it make you think like without those type of places, and especially with kids where they can actually sit down and know, okay, this is like home to us. You know what I'm saying? So shout out to Quasi. Um
Man.
with your journey, like you said, I knew you when it was just Exclusive Magazine, well, Exclusive Models, then Exclusive Magazine, and now with the mob. And when you sent me the invite, I didn't quite know what it was until I went on there and started filling out the application and the different thing to join the Zoom. And I did have a little mix up with the Zoom. I got on there kind of late to even fill out the application, but um the 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 idea of it is something that I'm big on, especially with us needing the help that we need. So, with your particular team, how does the membership, I seen it was different tiers of membership, the bronze, gold, silver, platinum. And I want to just go over the different tiers and um, you can say the price or not say the price, but what's the difference in the tiers?
So the difference, pretty much is because my whole goal, because and one of the things that I also noticed working with a lot of especially smaller businesses, they have trouble accessing capital. So a lot of people don't have the money. And I've learned that even with our digital media company, people just couldn't afford our services at first, by me going to school for digital media production, I know how much this stuff really costs. So I get a lot of people that's coming to me like, oh man, I need a commercial, or I'm trying to shoot a movie. And I'm just looking at them like, you know how much that's gonna actually cost. I know we got a lot of people out here now that's just getting cameras and they doing the 250 deals, and oh, I shoot it for 250 and 500. That's cool. And but it's a big difference when you see, because I get a lot of people like, oh man, it's even still to this day, I get a lot of people like, oh man, I want my video to look like Little Baby video, or I want my video to look like that Money Bag Yo video y'all did. And it's just like, bro, this video was $40,000. You
Yeah, they
coming
gonna
at me with a $500 budget? This not gonna happen. It's not. And that was one of the reasons, even with business owners, they're like, I mean, I want to shoot a commercial like L'Oreal. And it's like, yeah, it looks simple to you, but that was a $50,000 commercial. Or I get a lot of people, I want a reality show, I want mine to look like Love and Hip Hop. I'm like, they spending a half a million per episode. and you coming with $1,000 for the whole season. So
Yeah.
instead of, I never try to like down people for what they did, because it was a time I didn't know this stuff, right? Until that's why I went to school for it. Because once I, once I started getting deeper in the exclusive models, I started coming across trouble, and just started hiring a whole bunch of janky photographers and videographers. So I'm like, man, I'm just gonna get my own cameras,
Yep.
so I ain't got to worry about nobody hitting on our models and all of this crazy stuff. And when I started spending that money on these cameras and all this equipment, I'm like, man, this stuff expensive. And I realized I just didn't know how to use it, because I'm shooting stuff by myself, but I'm wondering why it's not looking like what I'm trying to make it look like. I'm like, yo, I got the same stuff that they got, and this stuff is still not coming out. It's still looking crazy. And so I'm like, I'm just gonna go to school for it. I can't do the use. I'm not a YouTube university dude, because my life is like this, so I can't sit there only for but 30 minutes or not even an hour to learn this stuff. So I'm just gonna enroll. So I end up going to Specs Howard, which is one of the top performance arts schools in Michigan. And that changed my whole perspective on digital media in general. Like, it changed my whole life for the most part. And I started really, getting into it. And I'm like, yo, it's so much more behind the scenes that people really just don't know. So, fast forward with our memberships, I took that in mind, and I wanted to, find a way and find a medium to give people that the quality that they're looking for, but make it affordable. Whether you just coming into business, or you had your business for years, or whatever the case may be, I wanted to make it affordable, but I still wanted to make it to where we didn't shoot ourselves in the foot. So the difference, between each tier is how much resources that we can give. So say for instance, if somebody coming in at a bronze, might be coming in at $500 a month at the lowest end, because we have ranges too. So that might come at the lowest end for $500 a month. So what I'll do is I'll pace it. I'll say, okay, well, for that we can do one content creation day a month, along with, of course, our brainstorm, give them access to our brainstorming sessions every single Wednesday, which has really been, a pivotal platform for, a lot of different business owners. Even, I've had business owners that been in the game for 20 years, right? And come on to our platform and be like, and realize like, oh man, I didn't know that. Like yesterday, we went over customer service and sales, and it was a lot of things, a lot of different elements that people wasn't doing. And we all sometimes complain about customer service, and I'm pretty sure we all got our horror stories of bad customer service. But we also have to make sure that we're not that horror story to somebody else. We got to make sure that we own it. Back on the memberships, I wanted to make sure that we meeting you where you are, but I wanted to make sure that we making it make sense too. We not about to sit up here and I can't shoot a whole movie for you for $500 a month, So I wanted to make it realistic. So I really base it off of what type of company it is. So everybody, that apply for our memberships, we make sure that we sit down with them and have a consultation, put together a detailed outline detailing what their goals are, what their main objectives are, and what their challenges are, and we combine all that, and I suggest a membership tier based off of what they're doing. So of course, if you have a tech company, of course I can't do nothing for you for $500 a month. We gotta be more realistic. But if you have something like a clothing brand or something like that, then that's a little bit more easier for us to kind of at least get you in, and then start working your way up to different tiers. To answer your question, each tier really is based on how much work and how many resources, how many man hours we got to put into that campaign. I can't hear you, bro.
I muted it. My bad. So we talked about it earlier. How I was basically I was like pivoting a little bit the way I was offering my services, and then
Hmm.
I had looked over the plans and different things like that. And it's important for people to understand that for somebody to spend 500 to 1,000, 1,500, 2,500, you want to make sure they're getting what they're paying for. You always want to make sure they're getting what they're paying for, whether it be $500 on the, like you say, the low end, and 2,500, whatever it go up to. The thing is that when you sit down to make these plans, you have a specific type of person in mind. And like you said, a t-shirt brand, the $500 is cool. If you got a tech brand, it's a lot more going on. It's more fast paced. You got, with a tech brand, even the your digital, your 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 commercial looks different. You know what I'm saying? Everything is different when you in digital because people are expecting. Somebody asked me right before I came on here, you got a website? Like they was asking me about my CRM service, and they was like, you got a website? I had a website done for this service 3 times. You know what I'm saying? If I
Yeah.
do like even with my credit repair, like I can go do whatever service. Nobody ever used my credit repair site. Literally, I I can literally say my credit repair site gets 0 clicks probably, like literally, because I do everything around the site. I have the site in case somebody asks, or I
Yeah.
put the site on like just like company stuff, and I separate it because when you deal with the Better Business Bureau, they don't want anything to do with credit repair. So I have
Right.
nothing on my
Yeah.
regular business site with credit repair. So I just
Yeah.
have this site separate. But when you dealing with, like you said, with the tech thing, like people are going on that site and they want to see that it look good because you're offering anytime you're offering some type of creative services, and let's say you offering video services, when you have a commercial and your commercial look cheesy, people don't want to give you money for the commercials. Like it just is what it is. So I totally rebranded this year. I had all of my sites redone except the credit repair site. Literally, I had my business, my main business site, my JP1, like my coaching site where people can book me to come out, do speaking, do coaching, different things like that. I had that redone. I had my CRM service site and one more. Oh, I had a funnel built and I had it built by the same people. It's got the same colors, the same fonts. You know what I'm saying? And
Hmm.
I had my social media redesigned. Like I had it rebranded to match those funnels and different things. And it was expensive. Like I spent thousands of dollars, right? Like I was spending so
Yeah.
much money, I wasn't even telling my lady. Like I was just spending money. She knew
Yeah.
initially when I went in and then she'll look up, I got this new site done, this new site done. And it was like 5, 6 grand. Like I was 6 grand in a hole before she knew it.
And that's on the low end. That's on the low
That's
end.
the low end. Yeah.
Like you could spend up to 10,000 on a basic site, and a lot of people don't know that either. I get a lot of people like, oh man, yeah, I was just talking to somebody. They got a car rental company. They're like, man, I was really looking for like more $500. I'm like, that's cool, but that's not gonna be what we. It ain't gonna look like our site. You looking at our site and want a site like ours, and it's not gonna be that. On another thing I try to get people to understand is the technical support behind it too, because I got another partner, he had a website and his business shot off and his website crashed because he didn't have no technical support, but he had so much traffic coming through the
Mhm.
site that it crashed. And it got to the point where he didn't know what to do with the, far as on the technical support side. So he just closed it down. So now we about to now he do all these big tours or whatnot, but now he's to the point where they're asking him, because he working on a deal. He's about to get his brand in like 700 stores, but
Okay.
they like, well, oh yeah, everything went through, everything good. They love the clothes, they love what he doing. He just got off a tour with Mike Epps and them, all of that. But they're like, okay, where's the site? We need the website now. And it's like, dang, most of his money was coming through these tours and vending and word of mouth. And he also have a mobile bus. He turned a 40-foot bus into a mobile boutique. So most of
Mhm.
his money is coming off that. But when it comes to certain levels of, and when you get in certain rooms, they want your business set up certain ways and they want to see that website, whether you're using it or not. They don't care how much traffic you get, they just want to see if you even got it. So a lot of people don't understand that. And then you always going to revamp your site. I don't care what business
Yep.
you in. Like I literally just updated our site uh probably last week. We just created a landing page, a new landing page, because a lot of people wanted information because they don't know what the brainstorming sessions is. They hear brainstorming session, and most people never been in a brainstorming meeting or a brainstorming session. So I'm like, man, instead of me having to keep explaining it, and sometimes I can't really explain it, you have to see for yourself, because you get something different out of it every week. I get something different out of it every week. So
Mm.
um you know that's something just like our business plan. You know, I tell people all the time, you should always be revamping your business plan. At least every 3 to 6 months, you should be going back and revamping your business plan, even if just the smallest thing you want to revamp it. And I just revamped it. Just revamped ours, and it went from a 15-page business plan to now it's 30 pages. Just off of a few things that we've changed, and a few business ventures that we open up. And I'm like, okay, well, I need to add that to our plan. So it's always good to have that person. Just like the other day, I work with Irene Bells. He's a recording artist. We created his website, and now he's coming out with his clothing line, and he needed to update his site. So you're like, hey, bro, damn, I need to update my pictures, and I need to take down the old merch. So you need somebody, because a lot of the times where I come across people with websites or got their website done, they get their website done through something like Fiverr or something like that. But then when they need it updated or something like that, those people gone. You can't, and half of them can't find those people again. So they stuck with this site that's outdated now. And it's been a couple of times where we had to totally revamp somebody's website because they didn't have the password, they couldn't log in, they didn't have none of the access to their back office.
Yep.
So it's very important. That's why I'm like, instead of me trying to tax somebody every time we gotta change something, just join the mob. Like, let's do it as a membership, to where now we can just continue on with these services instead of spending 10,000 for a website. Just join the membership so we can just slowly but surely get your website to where it needs to be, and then continue on managing it. I still make sure they get a full access and everything like that, but we still make sure that we in position to manage it, because it's important. Life changed. Like the pandemic showed us that. The pandemic changed. We in a whole new millennium now, and you got to be ready for that. To adapt. So, and you got to have that team. To be able to adapt with you, for sure.
And that's what a lot of people don't understand. They think that, okay, I can go to Fiverr, whatever. I use Fiverr for certain things,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
yeah, you go to Fiverr and it's good contract work. Bam, you can do it, knock it out real quick. But I'm dealing with somebody now that actually paid me to set up they whole thing in my CRM, right? So I go to set it up, and the way that they got their site, they have no access to their website, none, like zero. The company that they went through or whatever, they're not giving them any access, and then they basically telling them, if I just wanted to add a form to the site so I can collect data. I just wanted to, I'm like, look, all I need to do is add this form. I can send them the code, whatever they need to do. They like, look, we made the site. If you want to add the code, we tapping out. You gonna have to be stuck with it. I'm like,
Yep.
what? Like, and
Yep.
you know what? It's been a week. I need to reach out to them today. Like this, the their situation is paid for. And I'm like, dude, I can't do nothing if I don't have access to whatever they built your site on. I don't even know what they built the site on. I don't know if it's WordPress. I don't have a clue. And I'm like, dude, y'all going through these people and y'all like paying these people for these different things. I just had to do the same thing with one of my clients. I just did this yesterday. His LLC, he paid somebody to do it, and he can't even get in contact with the lady. He like, man, I don't even got her number. I don't this. And I'm like, dog, y'all gotta quit doing that. Like, I'm not saying you gotta use me for everything in your life, but I'm saying with me,
That's
my
it.
phone number not changing. If it do change, you always can reach out to me online. Like, I'm not the person that you just met online and you don't even know this lady. Like, you can't pull up
Yeah.
at her house. So at the end of the day, even with the those legal zooms and all of that, you go get an LLC through them, they may charge you the next year when it's time for you to file. Like, they may, where the state may charge you 25, they may charge you 50 or 100. Like, yeah, we'll do it
Hmm.
for 100. Like, dog, it's $25 and it's literally the click of two buttons.
Yep.
You know what
They
I'm
tried to
saying?
charge me like $200. I was like, next.
And
Yeah.
people don't get it. So I'm telling people like, y'all, and then what happens is I made a post one day, and I made the post. I may have said $250 for the LLC EIN, a logo. It was something like, yeah, I think the LLC EIN and a logo or something, which is technically probably a $200 offer. I'm making $50. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. Right.
So I was like, I made the offer or whatever. I'm like, whatever it was, I seen like I didn't even comment, but I knew it was like geared towards me. y'all on here trying to charge people for LLCs and you can get those for $50 or whatever. I'm like, nah, because I'm gonna get the $100 one and make sure you get it the next day. And then the logo was like $100. Like it literally was like I was making $50. So I'm about to give myself a headache to deal with the logos and pick one and go through the back and forth. And I'm making $50. It was literally like I'm this not a bad deal. Like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
I
not.
paid
I mean, just for the logo alone, you could spend thousands of dollars for a logo. Like I know companies that spend thousands on the logo alone.
and what people don't get is sometimes you're paying for expertise and knowledge, right? I'm a
Yes.
fool. I'm a MBA. I'm not in school for business. I just graduated with a business degree in business management and entrepreneurship and innovation, right?
Hmm.
I was in school with people who were just going to get their degree so they can get a promotion at work, right? You see what I'm saying? It's a difference
That
when you're an entrepreneur and you understand the concepts of being an entrepreneur. I know
yes.
people with MBAs who don't know the first or second thing about being an entrepreneur. So you talking to them is pointless. But when you're talking to an MBA that's actually an entrepreneur, that's been an entrepreneur and that's currently an entrepreneur and has an MBA, you talking to a different set of knowledge. You're dealing with a person that actually has the knowledge to help you. And if
Yeah.
my knowledge says that you should pick this logo instead of that logo, then that was worth $50.
Definitely. I mean, it was the same thing. That's why I rock with Specs Howard. Because before that, I went to Eastern Michigan for business communication, and I'm getting taught English by an English teacher that barely speak English, and I'm like, something not connecting right now. And then I go to Specs, and and what I like about Specs, they actually had every single one of their instructors actually have their own production company. They're actually working on major sets, like as they're teaching. So they're giving us real life and real time knowledge, like versus going to college. You got these outdated books that you spending two, $300, $500 on a book that
Mhm.
came out 5 years ago, and so much can change within that 5 years. Now you gotta buy the new edition and spend another $300 because this one little thing didn't change versus me actually getting taught by somebody that's in it. That as soon as they leave the school, they gotta go on set. So
Yeah.
it is a big difference, and like you said, most of the people I know right now, I know people with master degrees that ain't even using them. Like one of my partners, he didn't even go pick up his he got a whole bunch, he got some degrees, he didn't even go pick them up. So and
Yep.
that's why I'm really trying to change the narrative too, especially when it comes to the youth. A lot of a lot of parents, like I'm getting a lot of parents out of just trying to push their kids into college. Like figure
Mhm.
out what your kids want to do and figure out if there's other ways to do it. Get them some mentors. If you don't know nothing, get them around somebody that actually knows something. And you know what? I learned that with, I grew up around a lot of Chaldeans and stuff, and when I got into high school, I started going to like, I went to Sterling Heights High, and, I started, I crossed 8 Mile, right? And I started getting with these Chaldeans and these Albanians, and I'm seeing these kids in high school, they working in their parents' stores, preparing themselves about time they 16, 17, they know how to run the whole store. Not every single one of them dudes is successful now that they're adults. So, we got to change the narrative where we got to go to a institution to get taught how to be a worker. Like you said, most people was going to school to get a degree just to get a promotions to still work for somebody else and end up getting fired still, right? So it is it's a whole nother ball game. And I think that's why, even with our platform, it's powerful because, I'm not no teacher. I'm not trying to be no fake guru or none of that. Like, I'm not even trying to come off like I'm the know all, like you got to come with us to level up. I'm not going to give you no promises. And I always let people know, like, I'm learning. I'm a student to the game, just like y'all as well. Like, even on our own brainstorming sessions, it be weeks that I'd be on there learning new stuff, right? And that's why I give people a chance to talk and give them feedback. It's not just me teaching the course or nothing like that. It's an engaged, it's an interactional platform, because we be having some big wigs on there, right? Some weeks where I can learn off them too, right? So I think I think the best entrepreneurs are always students to the game. And the biggest thing is building a community around whatever it is that you're doing, because you don't want to spend all this money. Like I just ran into a dude a couple weeks ago at a Verizon event. He was, telling us, and I've heard a bunch of stories like this, but he was telling us about how he hired some people in a whole nother country to do, probably off of fiber or something, to do his website, and he spent all this money and didn't even like the website. And and then on top of that, they took money out of his account. So he just woke up with $1,000 missing out of his account, and he didn't know, he couldn't pull up on them at their office or call them on the phone, and it's nothing for them to disconnect their page and create another one on fiber, right?
That's it.
So,
Yep,
and that's basically what they did. Like they went
yep,
ghost, and he can't even find these people. He don't even know what country they in.
yep.
And he just out of $1,000 still with no site. So we working on, about the, we about to revamp his site and or whatnot. He's in construction or whatnot. But I keep hearing these same stories. It's a common denominator. So it goes back to, that's why I wanted to get away from the one-time services, because it ain't one time, it's a marathon. Even with the logos, it's like, I'm not doing no logo, like just the logo alone, because that's a headache alone. You got to keep going back and forth. They don't know what they want at first, and then I just want a nice logo. The last logo I did, the lady was like, I just want a nice logo. I'm like, what does that entail? Because what's nice to you, like what's nice to you might not be what's nice to me. And so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna send you some different options. Send her some options. Now all of a sudden she got all of these different changes. All of a sudden she's super picky now. And it's just like, come on, man, we had a whole consultation so we can avoid this. But I understand it. Like, so it's just like, instead of, like, I'm not, doing no one-time shoots. I'm not doing no one-time logos. I got somebody for you to do that. It's just me personally. If we not in this for the long run, I'm not interested, especially now that we actually have members, and I gotta make sure that we on top of what they got going on too. So now we taking away, if we are going to take away time and effort and resources away from them, it gotta be worth it. And 9 out of 10 people only want to spend $100 for a logo anyway, and it's just like it ain't worth it. Like you said, you only gonna make $50. You know what I mean? So yeah, it's a whole nother mindset that I'm trying to get people into. And people want to be a part of something too. That's why you got gangs and all of this stuff, because people just want to be a part of something. We are tribal, we tribal people anyway. So we move as units, and sometimes they come off, if the foundation is negative, then it's going to be a negative organization. But we can use the same format as the Bloods and the Crips and do something positive, and that's really what we're doing with the mob. We really building a community of and we treat our people like we family. Like, it ain't no treat them like family, they is family. That's why it's called mastering our business, because we treat your business like it's ours. And and before, that was a weakness of mine, because especially back when I was consulting businesses, I got to the point where I would care about somebody's business more than them. And I'm like, it used to frustrate me, because I'm like, yo, I'm working overtime to push your company, and you BSing. So that's why we just changed our whole model, changed our whole way of doing things, and it's a confirmation, because it's actually been working out a lot more. And people have been getting way more value. Forget what you're paying for your membership. We're gonna make sure that we go up and over beyond. Like the other day, one of our members, she was like, hey, how much should I charge for this? I'm like, shouldn't that be in your business plan? She's like, oh, I got a business plan, but I don't got a business plan. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get you. I'm just gonna put together a business plan for you, just complimentary, just because you mob, right? Where this business plan that we put together for, I think it was like 17 pages. She would have paid a pretty penny for that, right?
Yep, I'm
So
charging
little stuff like
2,500.
that,
That business plan
for
is 20.
real.
That's a $2,500 business plan.
Easy,
Yeah,
easy. I'm talking, including projections, all of that,
yeah.
right? We
If I
doing
got
market
you a business
research.
plan, I quoted a lady 3,500. I quoted her 2,500 for the business plan, and then it was like another $1,000 for like she wanted me to like help her get some kind of like plan together for funding. It was like some kind
Right.
of fun thing she wanted. So I sent her a quote for $3,500. You know what I'm saying? She ended up like ducking out on me, but I don't care to do a business plan. If I'm gonna
Hey,
do a
this
business
gonna be
plan,
a one of a snippet that I'm definitely gonna show my
yeah,
people. Like, look,
it's
this
definitely
is
I'm charging 20 25. I don't no business plan. If you reach out to me, no business plan is gonna be less than $2,500. I'm gonna charge you twenty five
and
hundred dollars.
I don't blame you for it.
Last year, I would have charged about 1,000. When I got my bachelor's, I went up to like 1,000. I was doing them for like 500 to 1,000. I might have said 800 before that, but I got my bachelor's last year, and I was confident in what I knew. I charged about 1,000 to 1,500 last year. Now I
Yeah,
charge anywhere from 25 to 3,500 for a business plan. And if you want to get like retarded and start getting into like very minuscule type of details, it can go up, but
definitely.
2,500 is my minimum. When I got like my price list, my my proposal for a business plan is going to look like $2,500. It's never going to be under $2,500.
I feel you though, like because one of like you said, the one of the main parts, other than you knowing your business inside and out and having an actual blueprint and the game plan, but when this coming to getting funded and stuff like that, that's what this is what they want to see. Like I had a lady probably a month ago, she's in the position of she's trying to get funding, and they like I didn't even know I needed a business plan to get funded. I'm like, yeah, like you just been doing this. And she like, man, and it stopped her from getting this funding. And she like, what I'm gonna do? And I'm like, we gotta take it back to the basics. So that's why, even when our members get when we onboard our members, that's one of the first things we kind of go over. And I make sure that they have locked in because one, it makes our job easier because if they got the blueprint and the knowledge and they know, because a lot of times, people, they be receiving the service, but we've been doing it for so long, we make it look so easy. So they're like, well, what am I paying you for? Like even with social media marketing and management, like a lot of people like, well, I'm just paying you to post. It's like, no, that's just one part of this. Like you paying for the social media calendar, the outline, the market research. I need to figure out who your competitors is. We need to figure 9 times out of 10, you don't even have the content. You probably got a couple videos and pictures, but now you don't have templates. You don't have a color, a
Bella.
color scheme. You don't have none of these different things. You don't know what hashtags to use. You're not doing your research on what trending, what audio is trending. But everything counts, right? You don't have time to respond to people within the hour. You don't have time to go and engage on other people's pages. You just posting and then leaving your Instagram alone, and you wonder why you're not getting no engagement because you just posting, and now the algorithm is not picking up your page because you ain't active on there. So you need somebody actively doing it. You ain't, now you clicking on links. This one dude I was managing his page. I probably saved him probably $3,000 in scams because he was about to go for it. But we also include fraud prevention. So we the first ones in there. As soon, say for instance, you do get a scam, message or a link, we on it. We are we train and know. And I got other experts that I work with that know like, oh, this a fake page, this fraud. But he going for it. He's sending me stuff like, hey man, they said they get me a feature with Chris Brown. I'm like, blocked. We gotta go in there and block them. And he like ready to send the money. He like, yeah, like I'm about to send it to him, but someone just told me to, send it to you. I'm like, I'm glad you did because you were just about to. Matter of fact, one person got him out of $200 because, and that's how he learned to start sending it to me at first. He like, man, I know the last person got me, but what you think about this? And I'm excited about it. I love Chris Brown. I'm like, bro, we just blocked him, bro. Like, no, don't send no money, don't click no links because they about to steal
Yeah,
your page, and you're gonna be calling me talk about why you locked out of your page, right?
yeah.
So
And you
people don't understand all of those things. So that's why I try to, not try, but I get as detailed as possible in the beginning with that outline. I put together a full detailed outline. I'm not, in a breakdown of exactly what are you getting for whatever the budget is or whatever your membership tier is, based on what you need. And I try to tailor it. Each membership is different too because everybody needs something different. Right? I had one guy who was like, "Man, I seen y'all do the billboard campaign for my bros." Because we did a billboard campaign for DY Kings. They one of the hottest groups down here, and somebody else was like, "Man, they knew them." And I was like, "Man, I want to do a billboard." I'm like, "Okay, bet." I got them on the call. And I'm like, okay, so what's the call to action? They're like, I don't know. I just wanted to build. I'm like, so you ain't got no website. Where? So once they see this billboard, where are they gonna go? You don't even got no website. So I had to tell them like, and that's where integrity come in because it's like I could have took his money and you know it is what it is. But I'm like, you know what? I can't even let you go out like that. Let's slow down and get your website and get your content. Like you ain't even got no pictures. You ain't even got no professional nothing, right? No professional portfolio. So I'm like, let's get a photo shoot set up. Let's get you some more content. Let's get your website together. Let's get your social media, at least your social media looking like something. So that can be the call to action. And then let's get into the billboard campaign. And I think that's what most people need because again, I wasn't educated on all this stuff either. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm just a black boy from Detroit, didn't really know too much, but certain things that came along with growing up in the inner city. I just want to be that person that change the narrative, change the stigma. It's a lot of whitewashing as well. A lot of people see me and be like, oh, that ain't worth that amount of money because I'm black and I'm young. But then they go to the white person. I literally had somebody go to a whole nother race and spend more money. They quoted them more than what I quoted them, but they went to them just based off of what they look like. So we changing that whole narrative. That's why we've been doing more of the brainstorming sessions too, because I want you to see, and build that trust back up. That's a big part. That's something I was talking about yesterday, building that rapport, with the clients too, not just going in it for the money and then that's it. Once you got their money, you do the bare minimum and then you move on. But building up that rapport, building up that trust, because that's what we need. More than anything, we need that trust built back up in the community because it's hard. It is. I'm pretty sure all of us have got scammed before. You got a lot of fake gurus and a lot of people that fake experts and stuff like that out here now. And shit, all you got to do is make you an Instagram page and stand in front of a Lambo, and take a picture in front of it. And I literally had a dude. He told me a story how he just gave this dude $1,000 just because he seen a bunch of pictures with him standing in front of Lamborghinis. And I'm like, and then you wonder why you didn't hear back from this dude. You get what I'm saying? So, we changing the whole stigma. That's why I start off with the education. What I mean? We got to start off with that education, and then we got to, build a community around what we doing. Just in case, if we do bring in somebody and they do scam somebody or, do somebody wrong, we got to be able to hold them accountable for that as a community. You know what I mean? And that's what's gonna stop people from doing the BS. I feel like that's my opinion.
Yeah. No, definitely. Somebody reached out to me, like they text me yesterday, I believe it was, or the day before, and they was like, "Hey, such and such. Do you know this person?" And they sent me a picture of the guy, and I was like, "Nah." It was like an Instagram profile or something. I was like, "Nah, I don't know him personally." I'll go look on the profile, and I'm like, "Yeah, I'm following him." The dude was like some kind of like credit repair dude, and I was like, "Yeah, I'm following him," but I might have been following him when I first started doing credit repair because I was like soaking up game a little bit from everywhere. And and I was like, yeah. Then I look on his page. I'm like, well, he haven't posted in like 6, 7 months. He like, yeah, he probably in jail. I'm like, yeah, that's what it looked like. Like he ain't posted it for real. And the dude ended up whoever it was, a dude or a woman, I don't know, man. They ended up sending me the person whole like criminal history, bro. Like I kid you not, it was crazy. I'm like, dog, why didn't you just text me on social media? They was like, I did. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy, bro. But they got him out of 20. Look, I swear, bro. They sent me the whole thing, bro. This is where the camera go. They sent me their whole criminal history,
Whew,
bro. Look, people be
goodness
on here
gracious.
like boosting. When I say this person just emailed me out the blue, sent me their profile, I'm like, then they sent me the message because I'm like, why didn't you just message me on there? And they was like, I did, and sent me the message. but it was going into another thing, like your business page was going to another inbox. So I go on there
Um,
and find the message. I go on there and find the message, and this person named the Credit Check Pro. Look, the person got them for 20 racks. They end up sending me like some little receipts and stuff. I don't do
whew,
the little things no more though. The little like the little scam videos and stuff I was doing last year because I had an issue with the trucking guru. The trucking guru, all right with me. I was supposed to do some more business with her. Recently she ended up reaching out to me. I don't know what ended up happening, but I'm gonna reach back out to her tomorrow. But she good people though. I like her. So but I was talking about she was a scammer. I don't know if you're familiar with that. I had a video
mm,
that went viral. So last year about this time I had a video. I was doing these videos about everybody. So being that I started off in that credit repair group when I came home from the feds. I was in the credit repair group. I started noticing all the big credit repair people. And you get these people that's making a lot of money and they making money. So you start seeing them fall off one at a time. They start calling them scammers. There's been different people across the country. And I started making these videos because I was familiar with the names. So when I
mm-hmm.
start seeing them talking about them, and I'm like, dang, this whole girl they was talking about, one of them, they just, I don't, I think they found her guilty of a murder for hire plot. She tried to kill
Wow.
somebody, but yeah, they were saying she was a billionaire from credit repair. Come to find out, she had an accident at work and got a lawsuit, and she became a millionaire from that. But she used it like, yeah, I made millions off credit repair. So what
Yeah,
started happening? People start buying into that. They start buying her courses and buying different stuff because she like, look, I made this money, and I'm like, dog. I start like looking into her, like her website had words misspelled, different stuff. I'm like, man, she ain't on top of her game, for you to be, a millionaire. I'm just saying you don't have people around you that's gonna handle your business a certain way.
definitely.
The site was trash. It was like a bunch of stuff that was like red flags to me. But everybody else bought into that and they like went and bought her like her latest little thing. They said she made $1 million in a day off of this course and different stuff. And they ended up just finding her guilty for a murder for hire. You know what I'm saying? That the lady ended up telling on her who she hired. It was like a bunch of stuff. So I had made this video about Kiera, the trucking guru. Kiera, because I watched Pocket Watching with JT. And it was like a bunch of stuff. I go in there and look at a couple more videos and I make a quick video. I'm making these videos, they like 30 seconds to a minute video. I just go do like quick research for like 5 minutes and I get me a story together. Boom. I just go with whatever being reported. And the video went crazy, bro. Like I had like 850,000 views in like less than 48 hours. Like the video going crazy. So they tagging Kiera. She got a heavy Instagram following. Boom. They tagging Kiera, tagging her and she'd come on and say something. She never like dogged me or nothing. So eventually I ended up like going on her page. It wasn't nothing about me on her page. You know what I'm saying? It was like little stuff. They was like, get y'all some money. You know what I'm saying? At the time, I'm like, this what made me actually look into how much money I was making. So I realized I'm making six figures. I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying? So because they like get you some money, I'm going through my receipts. They're like, nah, I'm doing all right. You know what I'm saying? But with the issue with Kiera, her baby daddy jumped on there or something. And I'm like, dog, I ain't into that. I'm not into dogging people personally. I'm just into like reporting this business stuff. And the dog dude got on there like, yeah, she this, she that, you know what I'm saying? He inboxing me and stuff. I'm like, dog, I ain't that type of messy. I just do business reports, you know what I'm saying? So I ended up making a live and I was like, look, man, I don't know what JT and those guys on, but look, I'm on real nigga time, you know what I'm saying? And she ended up inboxing me. She like, look, I felt you when you said you on real nigga time, and I'm gonna inbox you. And bro, when I say she called me, we kicked it for like 3.5 hours. She got to showing me receipts on the phone. Like she literally showing me, like, look, so you have people that's paying her for like it was one dude in particular that was dogging her all online. And she like, look, the dude paid her for mentorship and wouldn't answer the phone. Like she'll call, like, look, we got to get this done. We got to do this. And he wasn't that. So she like, why you not, doing what I told you to do last week? Why this not happening? And she showing me, she like, look, this dude ain't that. So it was a couple other guys I got on there with. I don't know how familiar you are with Smitty the GOAT. I ended up kicking it with Smitty. He jumped on the live with us. And Smitty, like, look, people, he was talking about how he lost money at first. It was some other bigger people in that arena. And they was just, expounding on, look, man, people be saying they want coaches, but they don't want coaches. They want you to do everything and they want you to get they want to reap the benefits. So you got to outline your services and stuff in a way that details that. And then you got some people that's just pure D scammers. You know what I'm saying? They don't like the fact that you making money. And when me and her was kicking it, she even explained to me, she said, I didn't have all these issues until I made the video. It was a video where she said she did 100 million. You know what I'm saying? She went on like a podcast and was like, and then her daughter them like we on FaceTime, so she at the crib like her daughter them there, and that's why she got this big following because she real personable. Like so her daughters them at the house, and I'm like, dog, well, how did you end up on there? She like, my daughter told me like, mama, you got to go on, go on these podcasts and do this. So her daughter get on there. She sent them like a post interview like little thing like informational thing, and it was talking about that 100 million and stuff. And in reality, she made a lot of money. Like, and the 100 million thing, what people don't realize is she did probably get like 100 million in contracts. She make a lot of money. This lady make a lot of money, and she
Man.
did this in contracts. But you got $100 million contract, and when I get to kicking it, because I don't know nothing about trucking. So when I get to kicking it with her about it, you got $100 million contract, but you got people you got to pay off. You got this going on, that going on. She may have ended up with 7, 10 million, whatever, but she make
Hmm.
money. Like they hating on this woman, but she make money. Like she make money. They was like when I came back on, I took all those little videos down and stuff, and I came back and apologized to her. And they like, dude, but you got to think I didn't went damn near 1 million views in 2 days. So I got all this attention on my page. I took that shit down like, dog,
That's
real nigga
real.
time. That real
That's
nigga
real.
time, real nigga time, bro. And
That's
I learned the
real.
lesson. You know what I'm saying? And it made me focus on my business more. Like, dog, you got to get to the money. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that's
saying?
real.
She,
It's a thin
whether
line
she,
though. It's
yeah,
a thin line between being a scammer and making it real. This is something that, one of my business partners, when we first started Exclusive Models magazine, he told me, he like, it's time to make it real now. Like, you got the vision, but it's not real. And that was another reason why we came out, because I could have did the digital publications like everybody else, but that was one of the main reasons why I spent the extra money to publish physical copies, because at first, we was getting, because we shot off so quick. People didn't, and I didn't put my face on Exclusive Models for like most dudes be wanting to take pictures with all the models and act like they doing whatever. I wasn't like that. I was on some Great Gatsby type, like, so I was just like staying in the background. People didn't know who was actually behind this. So it got to the point where people did, think it was a scam to a certain extent. So that was what really was like, look, I gotta come out with the physical copies, because it ain't no disputing that. It's real, it's in your hand, you feeling it,
yeah,
it's tangible. And then, once we built our platform, and got like maybe 3 years in it, that's when I started, that's when my partners was like, look, you got to get more personable now. You got to start showing them, who you are, and showing them the behind the scenes. But, I'm still not big on that because, of my background, how I came up. I came up around, a lot of street dudes. So we couldn't show a lot of different things, a lot of behind the scenes, because a lot of my dogs would have been indicted. So, it was hard for me to get, even still to this day, even though I'm totally legit, it still be hard for me to get in front of the camera. It's a little weird. I don't like taking pictures, but I force myself to, because you got so many scams out here that you have to be more personable. You got to show people that you're a real person, and you got to show them the behind the scenes. You got to. And we in a whole nother time. Even with that, you got to be careful though, because people are very good actors, especially down here in Atlanta. You almost everybody got their fronts up. Like, I'm talking about riding a
man.
Bentley but staying on their partner's couch, ain't got no crib type.
No, I didn't.
Got
Yo,
all the
I
huh?
done seen little stuff like that. At this
Oh, it's
point,
real.
yeah, no, I get it. So, like I told people, like even when I was talking about pivoting, when I talked to you earlier, I'm like, dog, I'm working out contracts. Like I'm literally as I'm putting the services together, I'm thinking about the contract. Like
Hmm.
I'm thinking about the legality of it because I know how people get. I'm actually dealing with a suit myself. Like I start dealing with this tax company. They down there, unlimited taxes down there, right? So I've
Mm.
been I've been dealing with them. They had an issue with me. Well, I had an issue with them earlier this year, and then they ended up offering me a little partnership or whatever. And then they start like going back on the partnership, and I'm like, dog, I'm voiding the contract, y'all. I'm not about to give y'all what y'all want after y'all didn't give me nothing that I wanted. And I told them that about a week or so ago, and they lawyer sent me a letter today via email, and I sent the letter back. I put a letter together. I'm like, look, y'all, this is not a negotiation tactic. I'm built for court. Like I'm good. I'm ready to go to court. And then the paralegal wrote me, bro, I'm a paralegal. Those books back here are paralegal books. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That's lit.
I got a paralegal certificate that's probably better than yours. Like, what are you talking about?
Right.
So I wrote her back. I'm like, dog, I got an MBA and a paralegal certificate. You're not scaring me with talking about court. Let's go to court. I'm gonna go get a lawyer that's gonna take a percentage of my winning, and we gonna go to court. Like we gonna get I got all the documentation. So I just emailed them before we went live. That's what I was doing when you and
That's
that's
hilarious.
I sent the email. I'm like, look, y'all, you stop threatening me with lawyers, man. Here go my information. Here go everything. Here go the reason why I'm voiding this contract. And here go the reason why you should leave me alone. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's it. Don't ask me no more questions. I don't want to negotiate. It is what it is. But I'm gonna let you get your social media and everything off. Anything, any last things. I gotta go get my daughter from practice. I didn't know
Yes,
I had to
sir.
be here to just
Yes,
now.
sir, man. So basically, they can find us. First of all, check out the website, masteringourbusiness.com. And then, we on all the social media platforms at Mastering Our Business. And you can check me out at Delano Bruton, my straight government name on all social media platforms. And man, really find me out in these, we really hitting the pavement. We ain't one of those ones that's hiding behind the social media platform. You can actually find us out here. We have Revolt World this weekend. We got a few other festivals. We just did Invest Fest and all of that good stuff. So we stay out here. And hey man, we catch us in a country near you. We about to go on the internet. We got some international dates coming up. So I'm excited, man. Definitely check in. And I appreciate you. And I'm proud of you, bro. Once again, if I gotta tell you again, bro, I'm proud of you and everything that you overcame and you motivation, bro, for sure.
Thank you, man. And the same with you, man. Like I say, I seen you do from the models to the magazine to this, and then when I seen everything, and I didn't pay attention to everything until yesterday. Like literally, when I went on, I'm like, damn, it's a lot going on. Like this, what's up? So it's the same to you, man. And I'm glad that my story. That's why I try to tell my story as much as I can because the people who don't know me, man, we can overcome anything. It's all mental. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
sir.
So
Yes, sir.
so y'all follow this brother. Y'all check out masteringourbusiness.com. I put the link in the comments. Check it out. I'm gonna go do a guest joint at Mastering Our Business for they brainstorming session. I was supposed to be on there yesterday. I had some disconnection issues on
It's
my
all
end. It
good.
was
We on every Wednesday. We on every Wednesday consistently.
definitely, y'all. So thank y'all for tapping in, man. And I'm gonna get them back on here soon, y'all. I want to start getting back to these lives, man, back with my entrepreneurs, y'all. We got to get this information out there to y'all. As y'all know, I am JP1, Coach JP. Follow me on all social media at Chosen One Jackpot. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Be blessed.